Hey, read through the Word. Today is July 12th, and I am very happy to be looking at Psalm 119 with you today. Oh, if we were together right now, the things I would love to talk to you about, or with you, about this chapter and this psalm. And it is an amazing chapter. I have one of my class members that always makes fun of me for saying in my Sunday morning, she comes to some of my Wednesday night classes as well, and always says, you always say this your favorite, you always say this your favorite. And I've got favorite verses, I've got favorite books, and I guess we'll go for this will be a favorite chapter in the Bible. Although Romans 8, so it's just something for us to really look at. And the way I want us, there's a couple of verses I want to pick out and for us to look at. And then there's some couple of marking things I want you to do with this chapter specifically. And I want us to think of it in a specific way for us to use this chapter as a tool. Okay, let's start. These. Okay, these are my glasses. I do not wear them a lot on the video because of the glare, and I don't need them I'm able to see the Bible, and I'm able to see my bullet points to remind me to stay on topic. So I don't wear them a lot in the videos. I think I wore them in my intro video to introduce myself to you. But typically I use them a lot because they're bifocals. So this part helps me see far away, and this part helps me read. And but I want you to think about this. Psalm 119 is what it's like to have a biblical worldview. Psalm 119 is guiding us in that. It's a pair of glasses with which to look through to see the world. Everybody has a worldview, whether you realize it or not. The reason the world does, I point out my window like you can see it, the reason the world doesn't look any different than it does is that a lot of people who claim to be followers of Christ don't have a biblical worldview. They've not put on the lens through which to look at the world. Because sin has messed our eyes up big time. Just like age has messed with mine. And I need corrective lenses to see the world. Sin has messed with our eyes. It's messed with our brains. It's messed with our hearts. Jesus gives us a new heart. And Romans 12 tells us not to be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of our mind. How does that happen? Through the Word of God. That's why you're all students of the Word of God. You've heard my testimony. You've heard Wendy's testimony of what the Word of God has done for us, because it's alive and active. I want us to take a look at Psalm 119, understanding it is explaining how to have a biblical worldview. How do we look at the world? Through the lens of the Word of God. Okay, so what I want you to see is, here is a couple of things I want us to do. Okay, now I think yellow would work really well for this, but you use whatever, yellow or orange probably would work. Something that reminds you of light, of a light shining on something. A color. Remember how we did colors for kings? I want you to just, in this psalm specifically, I want you to go through, and some of you might have done this with yours. My ESV is marked up like this. Of Psalm 119. Now, first of all, Psalm 119 is what's called an acrostic. It would be like us writing a poem or a psalm in English, and it would have 26 stanzas. Each stanza would start, the first stanza, every line would start with the letter A. The second stanza, every line would start with the letter B. The third stanza, every line would start with the letter C. That's what Psalm 119 is in the Hebrew alphabet. We don't see it because of the translation transliteration to English. You don't see that. But in our reading, it shows Aleph, Beth, and so it's telling you that's what this is. That's why it's so long. And if we were to see it in original Hebrew, we would see every line would start with that. And it goes through and discusses the importance of the Word of God. Fascinating. This is the longest chapter in the Bible, longer than many books in the Bible. And it's all about the Word of God. Okay, so with your yellow or orange or whatever, I want you to color in every word in the psalm that references the Word of God. So, for example, you'll see laws, you'll see commandments, you see decrees, you see regulations. I want you to go through and find all of those and color them. As you're doing it, I want you to find what it's saying is the blessing that comes from understanding the Word of God and how we are to revere it, to respond to it, any of that. This is a beautiful chapter, a beautiful psalm. And we would see we could use this and help us understand how to look at the world through the Word. And that's our worldview. The Word of God is the passion of my life. So that's why this chapter means so much to me. And this past Sunday, we've sang this song a few times at our church. And this Sunday, I told my husband when we were singing that I said, remember this at my funeral. I want this. This is the theme song of my life. And I want this played. And so, I don't know if you know the Travis Cottrell song. I've referenced Travis before in here. The Word of God is spoken. I will put a link to a video for you to see the Word of God has spoken in that song. And it is the theme song. And I think so much of the key to this chapter. The Word of God is spoken and we are changed forever. The power of sin is broken and we are free. That's what that song says. That's what this psalm shows us. That the freedom found in not going our own way and looking at the world through our own messed up eyes, but going the way of God. One of the verses in here is one of these old verses that I always remember from here. It says, turn my eyes from worthless things and give me life through your word. That's one of the old things. But as we're going through, I want us to look at the verse specifically I looked at in here is, keep me from lying to myself. Give me the privilege of knowing your instructions. Psalm 119:29. Fix my eyes, Lord. Fix my eyes. Don't let me look at everything the way these old messed up eyes do. Let me see the world the way you see it. And I think that's the key to Psalm 119. I'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.